So much for joining us today. We are going to begin the very first session in another 5 more minutes, and this is Tamil Nadu Global Tourism Summit 2026. So we are going to see a lot of insightful discussions. We are going to learn a lot. We are going to network a lot. So once again, thank you for joining. Please be stay tuned. We are going to get it started very shortly. So it's lovely to see all the students getting inside the hall. Welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Tamil Nadu Global Tourism Summit 2026. இன்னைக்கு இங்க நிறைய insightful-ஆன presentations, panel discussions இருக்க போகுது. நம்ம எல்லாரும் நிறைய விஷயங்கள் கத்துக்க போறோம். So welcome. We are going to get it started very shortly. We request all of you to kindly settle down. எல்லாரும் உங்களோட இருக்கையில் அமருமாறு கேட்டுக்கொள்கிறோம். Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். We request all of you to kindly settle down. Please be seated. We are going to get it started very shortly. Welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to start the event in another couple of minutes. Our speakers are on their way. So, இன்னும் ஒரு 2 நிமிஷத்துல இந்த ஒரு ஈவென்ட்டை நம்ம ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ண போறோம். இன்னைக்கு வைல்ட் லைஃப் டூரிசம் பத்தி நிறைய விஷயங்கள் நம்ம வந்து கேட்டு தெரிஞ்சுக்க போறோம். I hope all of you are super excited. Please be stay tuned.
Rolling hills, sprawling grassland.
So yes, vanakkam, vandanam, namaste, namaskar, and a very warm good morning to all of you. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope all of you are doing absolutely well. Ellarum eppadi irkeenga, nalla irkeengalaa? Yes? Can I get some thumbs up? Yeah. Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are absolutely delighted and pleased. வருகை தந்திருக்கும் அனைவரையும் வருக 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 என வரவேற்கிறோம். I'm Kirtana, your host for the day, and it is indeed my honor and pleasure to be present here among all of you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Tamil Nadu Global Tourism Summit 2026. This summit brings together policy makers, industry leaders, experts and practitioners from across sectors to exchange ideas, share best practices, and shape the future of tourism and sustainable development. Through meaningful discussions and real-world insights, the summit aims to promote responsible growth, innovation, and long-term impact for communities, destinations, and the state of Tamil Nadu. இன்னைக்கு நம்மளுடைய first session ஆரம்பிக்க போறோம். And the topic for the first session is going to be best practices in wildlife tourism. Wildlife tourism today is no longer just about travel. It is also about responsibility. From protecting fragile ecosystems to supporting local communities, the way we design and manage wildlife experiences matters more than ever. This fireside chat explores best practices that successfully balance conservation goals, community welfare, and meaningful visitor experiences. Joining us today are seasoned professionals who have worked closely with wildlife conservation, protected area management, and responsible tourism initiatives. They bring valuable on-ground insights into what truly works in wildlife tourism and also eco-sensitive zones. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to welcome our speakers and moderators on stage. Put your hands together in welcoming the moderator of the session, Conservator of Forests and Managing Director of TNWEC, Mr. Vismaju Vishwanathan. An officer of the Indian Forest Service with hands-on experience in wildlife conservation, forest protection, and sustainable tourism practices. He brings strong on-ground insights into balancing conservation and visitor experiences. Hearty welcome to you, sir. Put your hands together, please. மக்களே அடுத்ததாக it's time to invite our speakers on stage. முதலாவதாக we have Senior Fellow of International League of Conservation Photographer, Mr. Balin Madhavan. Put your hands together, please. A wildlife and conservation expert who has worked closely with protected areas and responsible tourism initiatives. His work focuses on conservation-led tourism and long-term ecological balance. And we have one more speaker for the session. He is a senior Indian Forest Service officer with wide experience in forest governance, policy implementation, and sustainable eco-practices across regions. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Vijay Mohan Raj, Additional Principal Chief Conservator of Forest, Karnataka Forest Development Corporation. Thank you for joining us. Over to the moderator. Thank you.
A very good afternoon and warm welcome. Am I audible? Yeah, good. So this is a session on wildlife tourism. I think wildlife tourism shouldn't be restricted to wildlife areas. Wildlife as itself has no borders. From a common man's perspective, for me, without this professional makeover, what I think about wildlife tourism is that sitting in a safari jeep, going for a wildlife safari. The guide or the interpreter, he explains to me, sir, be patient, be silent. That's how the chance of sighting wildlife is better. So we keep on waiting. The vehicle moves on. We're all patient. Suddenly comes an alarm call. Maybe a langur, maybe a trumpeting from an elephant. So our heart races, adrenaline rush. So that's the speciality of a wildlife tourism, which I admire, and I think everybody admires that. Considering the wildlife tourism in India, I think it's primarily driven by youth as well as domestic travelers. I'm mentioning the Indian context, but world over it may be different. So I'm also a wildlife tourism exponent, and my small initiative is Trek Tamil Nadu, which is committed to conservation. It was just launched in November 2024 by the Honorable Deputy CM with strong commitment from the government of Tamil Nadu. Till date, we have seen 24,000 people walking on our trails. And the most important thing is that 60 to 70% of the proceeds goes back to the community. So we have village communities wherein every trekker pays a price for that. We pay for the guides, we pay for the supporting services like local transport, food, insurance, all these we are paying. So this is a picture of Trek Tamil Nadu. About the state of Tamil Nadu, you know, it's a big state, 10th largest in the country, with 24-25% of areas under forest cover. So but our tourism areas, maybe wildlife tourism areas may be very minimal. If we expand maybe 5 to 10% more, the benefit to local economy, the benefit to local livelihood, the benefit to private commercial enterprises, it's huge. It's unimaginable. There are a lot of things to it. There's a flip side to any tourism model. As you know, over-tourism, overcrowding, habitat damage, and the professional ethics which many often we miss. To discuss on these issues, we have pioneers in the field who is having decades-long experience closely with wildlife tourism and the exponents of tourism. So one introduce. Okay. I think a small introduction has already been given. So I'll start with the Karnataka model. Karnataka, you know, the high value, low volume model, which has been acclaimed national level as well as the world over. So I have one specific doubt in my mind, because when the world was thinking, or the nation was thinking about footfalls, the numbers actually counts as an economic model. But here, this JLR model, they doesn't count the number. They look at the footprints. Lesser the footprint, more the income, more the economic development. So how, sir, the bureaucrats or the policy level makers are able to convince the government this system will work instead of looking at the numbers alone?
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ವಣಕ್ಕಂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ. It's a great honor and privilege to be here in Tamil Nadu speaking for tourism. I also thank the Tamil Nadu government for inviting us. Most importantly, it's a very good question that what is exactly ecotourism? Let me make it very clear that Tamil Nadu has got amazing religious tourism. You can't duplicate the same into the forest of Tamil Nadu. We have to have a different model. So unless you understand that we are not looking at numbers, we are looking at people who are stepping into the awareness of nature. Today, I don't sell my ecotourism destinations on tigers at all. We just say that you are in a jeep safari, you will be in a meditative state for 3 hours in the morning, 3 hours in the evening. You will open up your senses to the birds around you, and that is what we are selling. And those who are young people, I think I see a lot of young people here. I always say that the most important thing which Karnataka has an advantage is Bengaluru. Bengaluru has got a very unique culture. It's called the AC culture. Apartment living, cubicle working. Anybody who's lived in an apartment, who's worked in a cubicle, the first thing he wants to do is run away from that into the nature. Every weekend, especially Saturday, Sunday, they want to run away. That is why that is our market. So we very sure that they go to the forest, enjoy responsibly. And we also felt that we cannot do numbers. Day one, we said that we don't want large number of people. But I'll tell you at the same time, we want aware people. 2 people drunk in a forest will make more noise than 20 people walking silently. So that is exactly how we have to bring people who are aware into the forest. That is our model.
So we realize that people doesn't come for tigers alone. They come for the small wonders. People come for butterflies. People come for birds. So we understood this point very well. Now, you know, it's a social media age. So we have Madhavan sir here, who is exponent in conservation photography. He is an internationally recognized wildlife photographer. His photos have driven people towards the Kerala, especially the Periyar Tiger Reserve. And today, during my earlier discussion, I am told Bangalore is the DSLR capital, maybe the place where DSLRs are being sold, okay, across the world. So you see, people are stressed. On a weekend, they just want to get rid of that burden and go into some offbeat areas. So I want to ask sir, where is the limit? So many photographers inside the sanctuary, inside the wildlife area, are they causing some stress to the wildlife? Or how to go for better, good wildlife photography? Sir, can you please brief on this?
Good afternoon all. As he said, rightly said, Bangalore is the world capital of DSLR and mirrorless cameras. And every time somebody posts a beautiful tiger picture, either on Facebook or Instagram, it's not giving any message of conservation. Instead, it is producing 10 more photographers. That's the reality. Now, having said that, now photography has become an essential part. I would say it's a necessary evil. Because we are living in the 21st century. If we talk about 20th century as a century of letters, the 21st century is a century of visuals. So these visuals play a major role. The major role in connecting people to nature, which is lacking because when everyone is talking about development, so there is another side, which is that we cannot live as a human being without oxygen or water. And in order to get these two, we still need our forest. So ecotourism for me is welcoming a guest and sending back an ambassador. But reality is that if you look at almost all the places across, especially central India, you will find not just weekends, every place is full of safari vehicles and photographers desperately wanting that one picture which is going to stand out. But in order to do that, they are cutting corners. The value system, that is one thing actually we need to discuss today, very importantly, is that it's about the ethics of wildlife photography, how we should have this balance between photography and conservation. And for that, summits like this will certainly play a major role. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. A related question to Vijay, sir. So we cannot forget Masai Mara when we speak about wildlife tourism. Masai Mara, sir, as you know, it's being known that there are a lot of infrastructure facility being mushrooming. See, it's at the backdrop, okay, which causes stress to wildlife. For example, it's situated just on the corridors, maybe wildebeest corridors. They'll add up to feeding wildlife to improve the chance of sighting. So how to control this, sir?
I think, Vismu, we have to be very careful when we actually do these things. The first thing is what really taught us about life was COVID. Before COVID, all of us had a bucket list that we will do these things in my life. I will go to Masai Mara, I will go to Delhi, all those things. Today it has become a drum list. The bucket has become big, it has become a drum. We want to do too many things within our lifetime. Please understand very clearly, I would not advocate that at all. Let us be very clear of the point that humans are just a very small organism in the entire universe. Humans have no right to go everywhere and conquer everything. We should allow nature to operate for nature alone. Everything should not be marketed and sold. People going to Antarctica, I climbed 7 biggest continents, mountains. You treat them they deserve that side. It's not a great thing. Masai Mara is not a great thing for me. For me, going to the temples of Badami in my backyard, I would say Tamil Nadu has got an amazing backyard. Be cognizant, you don't have to go everywhere to feel happy. You can walk in Mamallapuram casuarina plantations and feel absolutely happy like in Masai Mara. Then you say, what is this? Chengalpattu looks amazing than Masai Mara. When you go to Masai Mara, I'll tell you, I've done, many people tell me that as well. So these are things which marketing people should be very careful, and you should also be cognizant, because the more you travel, your footprint on carbon, airplane miles, everything increases. So unless I sell my backyard, people of Tamil Nadu should visit Tamil Nadu, not somebody from Delhi. So I personally feel, if you don't understand and appreciate your homeland, and let me tell you, I have not gone to Africa. I will never go to Antarctica or Arctic Circle. I don't want to see another polar bear photo. I want to see Jallikattu, for that matter. I want to see a small fish by the side of Kumbakonam or some small place. So unless we ourselves propagate that thing, see now today, I'll take another minute. Today we actually, whenever we introduce people, I'll say I am so and so on Instagram. That is our identity. We have become people of Reelstagram. Unless I do X number of reels, I don't have an identity. So this is how we are propagating. And everybody is saying that this angle is not nice. Change my angle. I'll do another reel. So nobody is bothering about the background. He is only looking at his face in the reels. But the background is giving him water, air, pure quality. And that is exactly, I was just telling one example where my nature guide earns more than a young recruit in Accenture. The package of an Accenture young recruit is probably less than what my nature guide earns, because he works for 2 hours in a day, goes as a trekking guide, comes back, cashes in 1,000 rupees. And let me tell you, he gets clean air, clean water, and best part is he's able to look after his parents and no traffic of Bangalore at all. So these are things young people should take to, and this is my only take, that don't go chasing Masai Mara, please.
Thank you, sir. That was a great piece of thought and information. Ironically, I think Madhavan sir has gone both Antarctica as well as Africa.
No, for me, going to Antarctica and the Masai Mara is part of my profession. I'll tell you one thing, sir. Rightly, as Vijay Mohanji has rightly said, see what are the USPs of Tamil Nadu. This is a fundamental question. Because if you are looking for tigers, we cannot beat Central India. Because number one, all the tigers are habituated. If they don't see 10 vehicles by 8 o'clock, they will have withdrawal symptoms. So that's the reality there. Now, what is Kerala doing? That is one area I know very well. Kerala is maybe the only state in India where actually you can walk inside tiger country. Inside Periyar, inside Paramikulam, in these two places, actually you can walk. So that is a USP. That's one package that Kerala is selling very well. So likewise, you need to find out. Just let's forget about these mountains and forests. Look at your wetlands. There's so much that Tamil Nadu can offer. And my advice would be to distribute it across the whole state. And since you're in the beginning of such a big campaign, I would request you to do a detailed carrying capacity study for each and every place. That's the most important thing you need to do. Because when you started, you talked about the JLR model. I don't know how many of you know, in Periyar, the annual visitation is more than 500,000 people. These 500,000 people are spending 100 rupees as entry fee, and the department is getting, the Periyar Foundation is getting 5 crores. JLR makes 5 times the money with 1/100th of that same number of people. So this is the model you should experiment from everything. Listen to all the people, find out your USPs that you will be the only people. There is a picture here, it shows dolphins. Do you know that the world's best place to watch dolphins is so close to Chennai? It's actually it's not in India. The ocean, the Park Strait has now become the best place in the world to watch dolphins. So that is what they are selling. So likewise, we should also think about our own USPs and create packages accordingly. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Touching upon this, I just want to add that Trek Tamil Nadu, when we started, we had 40 trails with us. We also looked upon this point, carrying capacity. So first we fixed the carrying capacity for each route based on the local DFO, local field officers report. And online, the seats were available only based on this carrying capacity. So this is how we managed Trek Tamil Nadu. Plus we added insurance component also to it. And we connect with so many agents. Since it's a platform, I thought I'll showcase Trek Tamil Nadu and the options available for the private enterprises. As of now, we offer only one-day treks. We don't have proper accommodation packages, pick up and drop. So wherein we are tied up with so many agents, at least 58 agents are with us now. So they take care of all these things, and we give an agent margin also. Plus, if there are accommodation units nearby our trailheads or reception points, you have to, okay. So we can even look for that option. And Tamil Nadu government has identified so many areas, destinations, wherein you people can invest and come up with excellent tourism spots, especially near the adjoining the wildlife areas, especially wildlife buffer. Trek Tamil Nadu, we also made it one point. We doesn't flock towards the Western Ghats alone. We're looking at Eastern Ghats. We have trails in Salem. We have trails in Vellore. We have trails in Tiruvannamalai. Even in Tiruvallur, we have a trail called Gudiyam Caves. And still we are expanding. One more small discussion point. So, as an additive to wildlife tourism, there are avenues coming here, like astrotourism, cultural immersion, tribal cuisine experience. What's your take on this, sir?
Yeah, I think more importantly is Tamil Nadu, you are too early to talk about carrying capacity. Carrying capacity comes when you have too much of people. You don't have people right now. When you reach there, you can even talk about carrying capacity. That is my advice. But at the same time, have a framework. It's nothing wrong to have a framework. But most important is look at your strengths of Tamil Nadu. The biggest strength of Tamil Nadu is that the whole country talks about Tamil Nadu in this model, saying that they are the state where the growth is decentralized. It is not the Mumbai, it is not the Bangalore, it is not something. You have Salem, you have Coimbatore, you have Tiruchirappalli, you have Madurai, then Chennai. So you have a decentralized growth. All you need to focus is look at the market there and then build destinations. Looking at these decentralized growth centers, let me tell you, the youth of today are extremely adventurous. Give them a chance to explore their own backyards. I'll tell you what really drives the entire ecotourism in Karnataka is any destination which is drivable within 4 hours, people go and come back. I don't sell Dandeli as much because it's a 7-hour drive. Because they have to go back and log in on Monday morning. So they want to be back by Sunday. So you have to look at these destinations within 4 hours of driving distance with good road infrastructure. And let me tell you what we shifted from the tiger. The biggest thing is we said that anybody who puts a tiger picture is actually given negative marking. Somebody who puts a picture of a frog, he is saying Jai Jai, so many loves, likes, shares. The moment everybody says, oh, if I put a frog image, I am loved, liked and shared, you will also put a frog image. See, visually you have to change the system where if people can fall in love with a frog and a small fly, can you believe there are people who do survey of ants in Bangalore? We go and say how many types of ants we saw in a day. And let me tell you one simple thing is today if I say that let me walk the number of trees which Tipu Sultan planted in Bangalore, that's a Sunday activity. So, and all of them, you know, very high tech. All of them are available in Google Maps. You drop a pin, you say, I saw this, I hugged this tree. And unless you make this business of not looking at wildlife, we run a festival called Neralu, which is shade. It's called a tree festival where everybody goes and loves trees in Bangalore. So you have to move the picture from wildlife to this thing. We love frogs, we love ants. At the same time, this thing. Tiger lovers will always be there. They will never go out of fashion. But let us push these people. This is the model we have tried.
So you want something to add on this?
Yeah.
Especially the dark sky experience.
As signing off, okay. The most important thing for me is the benefit the local community derive from the package. If the local people don't support, if they don't benefit, it will become a failure model. The best model that all over India is discussed is the Periyar model, which was found by our friend Pramod Krishan. where more than 260 tribal families benefit from ecotourism. Even during the COVID period, not a single person had to starve because of the money generated from this model, where every tribal has become a watcher, every driver has become an guardian or a soldier. So likewise, unless the local community benefits, they will not support the program. So you have to take them into confidence, most importantly, and as Vijay sir has earlier talked about, give them proper training and make them part of the whole project. They should have ownership. That's the important thing. Thank you.
That point is well taken, sir. So Tamil Nadu is one state which keeps on adding wildlife areas. For example, in the last 5 years, thanks to the government of Tamil Nadu, we added 19 Ramsar sites, 1 tiger reserve, 3 wildlife sanctuaries, 3 bird sanctuaries, 2 conservation reserves, biodiversity heritage sites. So all this counts. So there are a lot of people, a lot of sites coming up wherein we can go and explore. So before winding up, I have one small question for Sir, Vijay sir. Sir, I know sir has been associated with the Wild Karnataka episode and the documentary, which is hugely acclaimed. So what was your experience with that?
Thank you, Visma. See, one of the important thing is that if you take your phone and there's a setting called screen time, if you can just after this session go back and look at your screen time, you will know exactly where you have spent time today. The average I log in is 2 hours 40 minutes. That is my time. I'll be honest. It is YouTube, it is WhatsApp, Instagram. That's what. Our lives are only these 3. If we can step out of these 3 screen times and see actual life. Actual life is where the breeze hits you. Yesterday I was in Mamallapuram beach. The breeze was hitting me. There was casuarina and there was a dead turtle beside me. That memories are there. The maximum you can see, our attention spans. We don't know what we scrolled through yesterday. Forget yesterday. Today morning, what I scrolled through, I don't remember. We are all like that WhatsApp group members, no? Where one person every day without fail will say good morning, good evening. We will forget all the rest of the members, but we remember that fellow. So like that, you should also say that today I will go and enjoy nature like this. That is our happiness point, and these are permanent. The moment you love nature, you will care for nature. If you care for nature, you will protect nature. All these films, whatever, I won the national award for the Wild Karnataka and all, is to create love for nature. Wild Tamil Nadu, my colleague Kalyan Verma did, is about creating love for nature. And my job is that unless I present to you like the most beautiful cinematic short sequence, and everybody is now on the screen. I would probably go to a resort which has got extraordinary pictures of their resort and the location and surroundings than somebody is putting 1-2 room pictures. That will not work for me. So my job is I am a marketing agent for my state. I will tell I don't have to sell Karnataka at all. Only the weather is good enough to sell. Round the year you will never sweat. I'll write and give if you sweat in Coorg, Chikmagalur, Sakleshpur, Hassan, Bangalore. You don't need fan also. So that is good enough to sell for me, but you have to go beyond that. That is exactly what I'm saying is build on your strengths, then go forward. That is my thing. And visually be very strong. Don't settle for anything less than number 1. Because you're not looking at only Tamil Nadu audience. The person sitting in Mexico is looking at Tamil Nadu. The person sitting in Sweden is looking at Tamil Nadu. And that is how the craving, the moment you create craving to run to a destination and be there, that is the most winning point for these days.
Thank you, sir, for the inspiring thought and valuable inputs. So now the session is open for the audience. I think last 3-4 minutes we can debate for the audience. If anybody wants some specific questions to speakers, please come on.
Sir, how do you balance this ecology? Yes, sir. Sir, my question is that I'm Darius, I am MD guidance. So I would like to know, sir, how do you balance these ecological concerns and the tourism, like what is the experiential thing we have to provide to the person who comes there? So what is the line? How do we draw that line?
It's a very valid question. I'll tell you very frankly, what you asked is that when do we know that how much of tourism we can promote and what is the ecological concerns. For example, there is a concept in tourism called destination change. Limits of acceptable change for a destination is what the GSTC counsels. If you go to Goa today, you will see more people from Delhi than Goans. And there will be more parathas being sold than the Goan food. Because the destination is undergoing a change. That is something we have to guard. A lot of people, you go to hill stations and you see literally the hill station is no longer a hill station, it is nothing but a perpetual traffic jam. So then that is how, for example, I'll give the example of Chikmagalur, where we introduced for the first time, there is no private vehicle going to Mullayanagiri, the highest peak in Karnataka. You will be parking your vehicles down, boarding on an entirely glass top bus, and it will be hop on hop off to take you to the destination, where we filter out plastic, we filter out liquor bottles, we filter out noisy tourists, everything. If you want experience, you have to go by these rules. So we have built in those mechanisms. For example, in jungles, we also say that this is the carrying capacity. I cannot have more than this. For example, the treks around Bangalore are sold 90 days in advance, because we can always push the people back unless we ourselves don't monitor. Luckily, our rules are very good. In forest areas, we have the Forest Conservation Act. And I will always suggest all people of business, don't try to go and say that I will build a resort inside a jungle. Build it outside the jungle and let the jungle be on its own. The moment you put a resort, you want AC, you want generator, you want night lights, all those things, problems start. So that is something you have to be careful of.
Adding on that, I think nature, there are some no-go areas also, no-go zones within forest areas, which we will keep it for nature, resort for nature. Nature has its own course, we shouldn't disrupt it.
Okay, do we have any other questions? We'll pass the mic to you, sir.
Good morning, and thank you for the useful insights from all three of you. Wonderful people sitting there. I'm Banushree, and I'm a farmer from a village called Mollasur near Dindivanam. And I live in a forest farm. It's a TDF forest. And I have a habitat over there. Now, the biggest problem over here is when I'm going through the ecotourism, rural ecotourism, yes, I have the wild boars coming in. So right now, I'm scared to take people on walks. We have natural pathways, but what's the solution here? Because the government imposes that we cannot tranquilize, we cannot, keep them. What is the way to keep? I mean, I know we are all talking about responsible tourism. Now, how are we going to address these issues? And we have poachers who at a very long range shoot deers. So one is when a deer is shot inside my forest farm, I become responsible. I don't even know who has shot, but I am to be blamed. How do we address these issues?
Yeah. See, the wild boar issue is not just confined to the state of Tamil Nadu. In fact, in Kerala, we are having more problems. In fact, what happened in Kerala is that the power to shoot a wild animal vested with the chief wildlife warden. Now that has been transferred to the panchayat president of each panchayat. And each shooter is given a sum of 1,000 or 1,500 rupees for shooting every wild boar, but he cannot eat it. It has to be what he called cremated in the way as advised by the forest department in their observation. Now, another very simple, just two things I say. So were there boars before or they just came here? The boars were always there. They were part of our life. But there was another animal which used to prey on the young boars. They were the jackals. Now, because of habitat destruction, we don't have jackals anymore. Now, what happens? Without jackals, the population of wild boar will increase just like anything. So, it is not an issue with an animal, it's a man-made problem. I think Vismiju should address from the departments.
It's a very interesting question and a very valid question, as the negative interactions are on the rise in many of the wildlife area borders. Pursuing the Kerala model, even Tamil Nadu has framed rules and is vested with the Tamil Nadu Forest Department. wherein in forest department people can shoot once the boar is out of the wildlife habitat, and there are distances being designated for this. But one irony is that the government or we, being custodians of the forest, we protect the tiger. That doesn't mean only the tiger is protected. All the species coming below are also protected. Wild pigs, they are fast breeders, numbers are raised. We are also aware of that. Okay, but the rules are very strict. Okay, we need to follow the action rules. But certain protection measures we need to have on the borders, wherein we need to practice safe ecotourism, as you told. Okay.
Thank you so much. And to the next person.
So good morning, sir. So myself a student from planning department. So I would like to ask this question. So can you explain the importance?
Hello, sir.
So good morning. So myself from I'm a student from a planning department. So I would like to ask this question. Can you explain the importance or the most difficult part in the means of infrastructure facilities inclusive of safety in ecotourism, since that decides the visitors for their next visit or the recommendation they make to visit others?
Correct me if I understood wrongly. What you have asked is that infrastructure decides the safety of the tourists coming to ecotourism areas, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. See, the most important point, those of you, I think Mr. Maran would all advise, when you go to a lodge in Africa, they give you an indemnity bond to sign, that you are responsible for your life. If a lion comes and eats you in a property, it is your problem. So we start with that, and so that is exactly why whenever you build infrastructure, I tell you, there is a new term which has created a problem for all of us. I know a lot of in the audiences. We have a phrase called intensification. It's called, can you hear me? Yeah, it's called intensification of comfort. The first thing is where no Bangalorean will survive, I'll tell you, is no Wi-Fi. If there is no Wi-Fi, no Bangalore fellow will survive. Be very sure. So if you want to call a person from Bangalore, you have to give him Wi-Fi because he has to be logged in on a call for somebody in US. So infrastructure means that I always say that we are something called the Muskiers, the Elon Muskiers. The Elon Musk has made such a beautiful concept. Wherever you build a house, solar panel, it will generate its own. Once you generate electricity, you can get your Wi-Fi. And now Bangalore, the coffee estates which are sold in acres is now sold on square feet. And there is a new term called work from woods. Now work from home is gone. It's called work from woods. People will stay in a wood vacation and log in. But when you do this thing, I'm not against infrastructure, but the infrastructure should be in line with nature. There's a beautiful highway built in the Tiger Reserve in Madhya Pradesh. It is a flyover of 28 kilometers, entirely soundproofed. I have seen elephants walking below it in Rajaji National Park just last month. So we can always have development and nature together, but planning and mitigation. These are the two important things. Since you are from planning, if you don't spend 20% of your money, not just building the road or bridge, plan in mitigation. And that is where forest officers are generally called villains, because we say you have to take care of this mitigation measures. That is most important.
Thank you, sir.
I think that was beautiful. Thank you. Any other questions? Yes.
Can I?
We request those who are standing near the speaker to kindly cover your mic while speaking.
Good morning, sir. I'm Preeti. I've recently completed my PhD thesis on community-based tourism towards conservation of Palmyra palm in southern Tamil Nadu. So my concern over here is this Palmyra palm is not added as a community forest or any other forest land, or not even in agricultural land. So whereas it has such a potential, many wildlife and even a small species that is there residing and dependent on Palmyra palm. So there are n number of species on it. So it's better, any initiative, if it's taken, it will be really great. And not even on plantation tourism, you find Palmyra palm is being added. Like you find tea plantation drive is going on in the plant, coffee and other things, but not for Palmyra palm. Thank you, sir.
So, sorry, can I take that one? Sorry. Hi, I'm Raja, Minister for Industries, Tamil Nadu. So, hi. So, no. Please, gentlemen, please sit. Please sit. Okay. So, sorry, I didn't get your name.
Preeti, sir.
Preeti.
I'm Dr.
Right.
Preeti.
Preeti, Pamara is our. No, that's okay. I'm good. So it's protected in Tamil Nadu. You just can't chop off any Pamara tree
Yes.
in Tamil Nadu. You'll have to take licenses. It's a big process, right? Even if it's for road widening. So there is a lot of protection when it comes to Pamara. And of course, this is the state, you must remember, this is the state which is actually trying to increase its forest cover to 33%.
Yes, sir.
Now that might sound simple, because we are already at 23%, we are at 22 odd percent, we're going up to 33%. But it might sound simple, but when you look at the scale at which that we need to do that, it's 11,500 square kilometers of greening. That's bigger than some certain countries, right? So that's the scale at which Tamil Nadu is working. And when you're talking about ecosystem protection, Tamil Nadu, I don't know if you know, but we are protecting chameleons, dugongs, slender lorises, right? So we are up there when it comes to conservation. So you don't have to worry. We'll definitely make sure that the Pamara ecosystem is also safeguarded.
Yes, sir.
So yes, so this is the state, this is one of the best states when it comes to environmental protection laws, and that is why, sir, PCC, it's a great honor to have you here. Amazing mind. I've been hearing so much about you from Daredbhai and all the other officers here. And of course, Karnataka has done such a beautiful job. In fact, my early memories about Bhimeshwari and Galibara. I'm an angling enthusiast also. I felt very sad when you got rid of Bhimeshwari and Galibara. I don't know why you did that. One of those few places that we could actually get a Mashir on the line. And that feeling when you get a Mashir on the line is just, it is just phenomenal. But that is something which we want to replicate. Of course, we also want to save these amazing fishes, aquatic life. People talking about linking rivers, they need to rethink because you just can't connect two ecosystems and think everything's going to be fine. So all of this needs a lot of thought. And as I said, the way Karnataka has built what's that? Huh? No. Bannerghatta. No, not Bannerghatta. The other one.
Nagarol.
Nagarola is, and I have fantastic images embedded in my mind of myself sitting in the middle of Nagarola with millions of fireflies across. That is quite a sight. I don't know how many of you have seen that. Just go there for the fireflies. It's such a sight. When they blink in tandem, right? It's a beautiful sight. So our Mudumalai and the contiguous what's it called, sir? What's it called? Bandipur is where I basically saw my first leopard and coming out of the mist, and these are things that just stay there till you go, right? So yes, Pamara for sure, chameleons for sure, slender lorises for sure, the dugong for sure, anything that lives, runs, flies, whatever, walks, whatever, it will be protected completely by the state of Tamil Nadu. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Beautifully said, sir. Please join us on stage. Please, sir. We insist. Ladies and gentlemen, with us we have Dr. T.R.B. Raja, Industry Minister of Tamil Nadu.
Sorry
A huge
for
round of applause, please. Okay, so do we have any other questions? Yes.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Okay, after you, sir. Please.
Hello. Sir, I would like to know, as we are witnessing the climate change and we do have the responsibilities, right, for the climate change. So what are the things that you would advise to consider for the sustainable ecotourism? So this is a big thing that we have been witnessing, right? So in terms of climate change. So we just want to take your advice as you are the senior most.
Yeah, can you hear me? Okay, it's a very broad question. I'll just narrow it. I'll tell you that Chennai will have much more rainy days than ever. The whole of South India is becoming wetter. That is the climate change models telling us. But also the model also tells us the temperatures will become hotter. The summers will be hot, the monsoons will be heavier. And let me tell you, in last 9 years, we had 4 years of century level rains in Bangalore alone. So whenever you build a building, you build, say, I built for 100-year rainfall data. That 100-year rainfall data is tested. So when you know that it is tested within a span of a decade, these are concerns. And this is exactly why we don't know where we are going. But at the same time, as you said, that we have to keep this parameter in mind that nature is going to go more aggressive, more this thing. And when we build things, we have to be careful of that.
I'll just add one more thing to that. He said a meter of rain. We had a meter of rain in 36 hours in South Tamil Nadu, and that was in Tenkasi and Thoothukudi and that side of it, of Tamil Nadu. Sorry, Tenkasi and Theni, and then Tirunelveli. But that came and flooded Thoothukudi. So it didn't rain here that much, but it rained somewhere else. So climate change it will probably pour somewhere else and destroy some other location. So we are all learning from all of this. And I know the sir should talk about the wet bulb situation, right? The wet bulb situation is when it's hot and humid and it's packed. So this is what our cities are going towards. So there are ways that we are, as Minister for Industries, we are also trying to correct. We are trying to go into district cooling and trying to reduce our effect on the environment itself. So we are all learning together, but Mother Nature is going at breakneck speed. We're trying to catch up and try and learn. But this is our own doing. We need to go through all this and try and correct it as much as possible.
Okay. So yes, due to time constraint, we'll have one last question. I think one student has been waiting for a very long time.
Good afternoon, sir. I am Yasmin from Madras Christian College. Sir, my question is how schools and colleges can promote awareness? Like what practices can we actually induce in? I would like to know that, sir.
The first thing to do is get yourself connected to nature. Visit forests, wetlands. So the physical presence is the first way of connection. So once that happens, automatically you will become a green ambassador or a green warrior. Nowadays, you people are much better than communication in all the social media. Use the platform, because that is the platform of this generation. Use the platform to spread the message of conservation. Not just broad things, whatever things that you find around your neighborhood, that itself is the first way to start. That's the way we all started.
Yeah. I'll just share the Karnataka model where we actually focus on school children. We focus on school children between the 8th standard and 9th standard, where every high school student is taken to a nearby forest. We call it Chinnara Vanya Darshana, where the children are taken invariably to the nearest there, and we have built camps so that they go in for a day trip. And the thing is that we have developed this as a model, sir, just to share with you. The model is that we have something called known as the knowledge partner. That is where our young friend wanted to say that how can I be a part of it? That was a part of a question as well. She can be a knowledge partner telling children what she knows about nature. And we have a logistic partner, people who pick up school children from schools and drop them back. And we, the forest department, are the host partner. So we host them in our camps, we give them food for a lunch. We don't take them to any big parks or such. We take them to nurseries where young seedlings are grown. People can touch and feel the seedlings. And we also take them to a nearby patch of forest within the district. We don't have to take them to Mudumalai or to any of the big parks. 8th, 9th standard minds are very vulnerable, very open to a lot of things. And we ask the best people in the state to go and address them. Because if I remember that if I had not walked and transact with Mr. Ullas Karant in a tiger survey, I would have never been a forest officer. So these are the things which will impress. So the board of Tamil Nadu should make sure that you get the best people talking to the people in the district, because they look them as idols. And when they be part of the education and awareness, and that is what works very well. I know Mr. Ramkumar is here, who's been with us for a long time. I welcome him here. And it's been nice. And I would suggest, sir, anytime you can please come and visit us also and look at the model.
Thank you so much, sir.
To this, I just want to add on one more thing. Under Trek Tamil Nadu, we just started the exercise. To start with, we identified 50 students per district for a nature camp in the nearby natural area. Maybe it may be a biodiversity park, a butterfly park, a zoo, or a wetland. So we just started. Maybe in the years to come, we'll also be acting full-fledged. Okay.
Thank you so much. It was such a thought-provoking discussion. Ladies and gentlemen, can we all give one huge round of applause? Thank you, and we request Dr. T.R.B. Raja to kindly felicitate moderator and speakers. Please do the honors, sir. நல்ல ஒரு பலத்த கரகோஷம் கொடுக்கலாம். And also we request Dr. Daris Ahmed IAS to kindly join us for a group picture. Welcome, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, a huge round of applause. It was a pleasure to have you. Thank you. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Okay, the very next session for the day is on rethinking ecotourism beyond sanctuaries. Ecotourism today extends far beyond forests and protected areas. It has the potential to uplift communities, showcase lesser known destinations, and create sustainable livelihoods while protecting natural and cultural heritage. Our panel brings together experts from policy, conservation, and tourism development, offering diverse perspectives on how ecotourism can evolve responsibly beyond traditional boundaries.